Hello students, this is Hardik sir, and today we are going to start our part 4 from lesson number 1, tracing changes through 1000 years from standard 7 history. So the title for the part 4 is old and new religions. So the period which we are studying 700 to 1750 CE. Between that period, whatever the changes occurred in religion, particularly that we are going to study in this part. So the history which we are exploring means the medieval period that we are exploring, we are studying. It witnessed major developments in religious traditions. In religion, there were number of developments. People's belief in the divine, in supreme soul, was sometimes very deep personal, but sometimes it was collective. So we will find the definition of religion first. The collective belief in a supernatural agency is known as religion. So people's belief were personal, but along with that, more usually it was collective. And that collective belief in supernatural agency, about that we have, everybody has not much knowledge. So about that supernatural agency, whatever the belief was there, that is known as religion. And that religion was often closely connected with the social and economic organization of local communities. So as per the social and economic conditions of the people, this religion also changed. So as you can see with the next line, as social worlds of these groups altered, so too did their beliefs. So as the society or the economic condition or the social customs changed, along with that their belief means their religions also changed. So with this part we can come to know that about old and new religions, which we are studying the part of history, medieval history. In that, collective belief in supernatural agency was known as religion. That was sometimes very personal, but more usually it was collective. According to the social and economic condition of the people, this religion also changed. With the next part we can come to know that during this period, important changes also occurred in Hinduism. The religion which we call today Hinduism, that also witnessed many of the changes. And what were the changes? That during this period, the worship of new deities was also introduced. Secondary, the construction of temples by royal people. So this was another change. Then next, the growing importance of Brahmins, the priests, as dominant groups in society. So now Brahmins and priests also started being dominant in society. So their importance also grew. So during this period, 700 CE to 1750 CE, in Hinduism also there were number of changes like worship of new deities, construction of temples, and growing of importance of Brahmins and priests. So there are number of things that also changed during this particular period. And this change, as for an example, if we talk about Brahmins and the priests, so because of their knowledge of Sanskrit, this happened. So as they had only the knowledge of Sanskrit text, they were the only people who possessed this knowledge. And because of this, Brahmins ultimately earned a lot of respect in society. So their dominant position was consolidated by the support of their patrons. Now who are patrons? We will see a definition. So new rulers searching for prestige. So for these new rulers who actually looked for prestige, and for them these people wrought something, and that was ultimate reason that they also became their fans. So we will have a definition of patron, and then we will come back to this part again. So as you can see on the screen, there is a definition of patron: an influential wealthy individual. So like a ruler, king, chief of the society, who was influential and even a wealthy person. That person started supporting another person, like an artisan, a craftsperson, or a learned man, or maybe even a noble. So this influential wealthy person becomes the patron of any of these. He becomes a fan of this, and that is something known as patron. So let us come back again. So because of this knowledge of Sanskrit, ultimately Brahmins got a lot of respect, and with the support of their patrons. So these rulers also supported them a lot, and because of that, they became dominant in the society. Next, we can find the major development in this period, that was introduction of bhakti. Now, what is bhakti? So, it is given that it is loving personal deity, and with the help of bhakti, a person could directly reach to God, and for that, he did not need the help of any priest or any rituals. So, he didn't need Brahmins or priests to reach to Supreme Soul, and that was the main idea of bhakti, that we will be studying about the same other traditions and all in chapter number 8. So major development that took place in Hinduism, that was the emergence of bhakti, and because of this bhakti, ultimately a person could directly reach to God without the aid of priests or any elaborated rituals. So this is what the major development was. Next, this was the also period when new religions appeared in Indian subcontinent. So new religions appeared. So which were the new religions? As we are given here the examples, that merchants and migrants who came somewhere from outside of India, they first brought the teachings of Holy Quran to India. And in which century they brought it? So they brought it in 7th century. So merchants and migrants, along with them, they brought the teachings of Holy Quran to India in 7th century. Muslims, the followers of Islam, regard the Quran as their holy book. So we can say that holy book of Islam is Quran, and they accept the sovereignty of one God, and that is Allah. So they only have one God, and that is Allah, because of whose love and mercy and bounty, that all those who believe in Him without regard to social background, so they are all blessed with only one God, Allah, who regard Him, who ultimately pray Him, and that all people only believe in one God, and only Allah love, mercy, and bounty embrace all those without any social background. So there were no different societies, there were no different castes, everybody was equal according to them. Let's move ahead for more information about Islamic culture, about Muslims. So many rulers were the patrons of Islam, and the ulama, they were the learned theologians and jurists. So these learned theologians means they ultimately shared their views about religion. They gave people knowledge of religion. And like Hinduism, Islam was interpreted in a variety of ways. It was explained by variety of ways to the people, by its followers. Ultimately, the followers of Islam explained other people in number of ways. There were Shia Muslims and Sunni Muslims. So Shia Muslims were the people who believed that the Prophet Muhammad's son-in-law, Ali. So who was son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad? That you can find Ali was the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, was the only legitimate leader. Ultimate leader was only Ali. He was the only ultimate leader of the Muslim community, that was believed by Shia Muslims, and Sunni Muslims accepted the authority of the early leaders who came before him, and they were known as Khalifas. So ultimately, Shia Muslims believed that ultimate leader was Ali. For Sunni Muslim, there were Khalifas. According to them, they were the early leaders of the community, and the succeeding Khalifas also they started worshipping. There were other important differences between the various school of law, and those were Hanafi and Shafi. So there are different schools of law. They were known as Hanafi and Shafi, that is mainly in India. And in theology and mystic traditions, theology, that is knowledge of religion, that gives idea about religion. So about these mystic things which have still many things which we cannot understand, that is something known as mysterious. And for that ultimately there are number of schools, so there were differences even among the people, and there were various schools like Hanafi and Shafi, that is mainly in India. So these are the parts. So as we can sum up, Shia Muslims, Sunni Muslims, Shia Muslims believed Ali as the legitimate leader, and for Sunni Muslims there were only Khalifas. So these are the main things of old and new religions. So ultimately, first in the beginning we had Hinduism, and that saw a number of changes. By 7th century, a group of merchants and migrants brought the teachings of Holy Quran in 7th century in India, and number of things about Muslims also we are given. So we will sum up with this part. Thank you.